1972 was packed with iconic rock,
You were my friend.
soul, and pop radio staples.
Beautiful Sunday.
But some of its catchiest hits came from artists who only had one shot in the spotlight.
Why not just me?
Here are 10 one-hit wonders from 1972 that still deserve a spin. Number 10, Thunder and Lightning by Coltrane. Cut at Audio Finisher Studio with producer Bob Cullen, the single Thunder and Lightning by Coltrane stormed onto the early 1970s scene with its driving piano and raw edge.
We've been friends for a long, long time.
This cut captures the frantic pulse of LA's rock clubs, translating Coltrane's urgent energy through crisp live takes and stripped-down engineering. Radio programmers gravitated toward the tune's eruptive sound, drawn to the palpable immediacy heard in every bar.
You know what I hear, what the people.
As the record made its rounds on FM playlists, it revealed a flair for bold, genre-blurring arrangements that set it apart from the more polished tracks competing for airtime. Besides Coltrane's impassioned performance, what really stands out is how the single's production never overpowers the song's natural momentum. It was this balance that pushed the track to number 17 on the charts in 1972, earning it a moment in the national spotlight despite its creator remaining an underground favorite. Number 9, Beautiful Sunday by Daniel Boone. Signed to Penny Farthing Records, the band rolled out a single just as UK sunshine pop was peaking overseas. Beautiful Sunday by Daniel Boone is built around cheerful melodies and breezy orchestrations that defined the year's upbeat mood. Behind the scenes, label founder Larry Page steered the track's radio-friendly arrangement, ensuring the song stood out amid the shifting tides of early 1970s pop. The record's instant catchiness and bright hooks resonated with DJs across Europe before making its way onto American airwaves, sparking a string of covers and dance crazes. Its accessibility and buoyant lift made it a favorite for weekend spins and family parties alike. Notably, this single reached number 15 on the charts in 1972, securing its reputation as one of the decade's quintessential feel-good anthems while marking the creator's only trip into international acclaim. Number 8, Suavecito by Malo.
Knew that you were my dreams come true.
In March 1972, a San Francisco DJ flipped the record, and stations followed, propelling Suavecito by Malo to audiences eager for Latin-infused rock. The song's smoldering groove and smooth guitar work reflected the burgeoning Chicano rock scene, with studio production polished just enough to keep the rhythm section's swagger at the forefront.
Way that you make things go right.
As local airplay snowballed, national programmers took notice, and the tune became a slow burn favorite, often heard spilling from car stereos on warm spring evenings. The group's incorporation of congas and sultry brass elevated the production, giving the cut its signature blend of tradition and modernity. This track ultimately carved out its space on the charts, reaching number 18 in 1972, and standing as a crossover staple that year. Even as the band's subsequent singles never captured quite the same magic. Number 7, Day by Day by Godspell.
Lord, 3 things I pray.
A single TV taping turned curiosity into momentum when The David Frost Show aired the performance of Day by Godspell. The song was initially born out of a Broadway cast recording, yet the televised moment propelled it into nationwide consciousness. Backed by a soulful ensemble and elevated by hands-on direction from celebrated arranger Stephen Schwartz, the record's crisp vocals and subtle orchestration reflected the early 1970s fascination with musical theater on the radio. The single's uplifting tone and choral simplicity resonated with a wide demographic, from pop audiences to churchgoers, and helped blur the lines between stage and studio recording. Supported by persistent airplay following its TV exposure, this cut achieved surprising success, climbing all the way to number 13 on the charts in 1972 and leaving an enduring imprint on pop and choral music alike. Number 6, How Do You Do by Mouth and Macneal. Engineer Gerard Stellard kept an accident in the mix, a wobble that became the signature of How Do You Do by Mouth and Macneal. The record was a patchwork of pop hooks, ebullient vocals, and Dutch studio craftsmanship, fusing European energy with a surprisingly universal sing-along chorus.
And you, and there began.
Production choices like stacking harmonies and punchy percussion lent the single its memorable charm, all captured during sessions at the renowned Phonogram Studios in Hilversum. Airplay snowballed as American radio programmers latched onto the catchy vibe, aided by savvy distribution from Philips Records. It's that unplanned studio moment, caught by Stellard, that became the song's oddly magnetic touch. The tune soared, peaking at number 8 on the charts in 1972 and crossing over far beyond the Netherlands, establishing a brief transatlantic bridge for its creators. We're halfway through, and the sounds of 1972 are already bringing back some deep cuts. Which of these songs did you grow up with? Or maybe discover years later on a dusty record or random playlist? Got a favorite one hit, wonder we didn't include? Drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear the songs that stuck with you. Number 5, Good Time Charlie's Got the Blues by Danny O'Keefe. A late-night session left the take loose enough to breathe, and the groove on Good Time Charlie's Got the Blues by Danny O'Keefe radiates lived-in authenticity. The sparse, mellow arrangement let every subtle guitar bend and plaintive vocal ring out, shaped under the steady hand of producer Arif Mardin at Atlantic Recording Studios. What stands apart here is the relaxed timing and honest emotional pull, which were captured with intentional minimalism during that nocturnal session. The single traveled by word of mouth, finding its place in the rotation of late-night radio programs across the nation. Its honest delivery and warm mix resonated with both country and pop fans, giving it a rare crossover appeal for that year. Eventually, the cut climbed to number 9 on the charts in 1972, making it a notable outlier among the slicker productions of the era. Number 4, City of New Orleans by Arlo Guthrie. A B-side rumor helped the A-side find daylight after Chicago's WLS started spinning it, and City of New Orleans by Arlo Guthrie began its ride into the national conscience. Recorded with producer Lenny Waronker at Warner Brothers Studios, the song's storytelling charm and down-home arrangement captured a slice of Americana that felt both nostalgic and immediate. Word spread quickly in radio circles as DJs swapped tips on the story behind the cut's journey from obscurity to rotation.
Just wanna ride on my motorcycle.
The track's gentle piano roll, crafted by veteran session musicians, reflected the laid-back yet sturdy spirit of the early 1970s. Its ascent from a regional curiosity to a widespread favorite was cemented when it reached number 18 on the charts in 1972, forever tying the single to a very specific moment in American pop culture.
But all the towns and people see.
Number 3, Oh Babe, What Would You Say by Hurricane Smith. Paper-sleeve promos hit retailers. The weak British oldies were infiltrating AM radio. And the cut, "Oh Babe, What Would You Say?" by Hurricane Smith charmed listeners with its sly throwback production.
I'm really not sure. Tom said a poor boy like you could use a break.
Recorded at Abbey Road's fabled Studio 2, the single was helmed by Norman Smith, whose playful, slightly antiqued arrangements evoked the nostalgia of pre-rock pop.
Reuben Carter was falsely tried.
Lush strings and whispered clarinet fills gave the record a whimsical character, making it stand out among the moodier fare of 1972. DJs delighted in the track's period stylings, even as modern listeners found themselves caught up in its timeless melody and crisp engineering.
You might as well not show up on the street.
The tune's fleeting chart climb was just enough for it to make a lasting impact, with this single peaking at number 3 on the charts in 1972 and cementing a unique corner of British pop culture.
Bring him to the hospital and take him upstairs.
Number 2. Popcorn by Hot Butter. A terse memo from the label pushed one more single to radio just as synthesizer pop was bubbling up, and Popcorn by Hot Butter began its unexpected run. The tune blended moog rhythms and repeating melodic hooks from Stan Free's home studio sessions, bridging novelty and innovation for its time. The synth textures were meticulously tweaked to be catchy but accessible for mainstream audiences, all under the eye of Musicor Records' oversight. As curiosity turned to chart action, listeners latched onto its futuristic playfulness, often hearing the cut during weekend countdowns and TV bumpers of the year. This electronic experiment, with its twinkling lead and percolating beat, secured broad appeal. The tune climbed impressively, ultimately landing at number 9 on the charts in 1972, and signaling that synthesizers could hold down the beat for pop hits to come. Number 1. Dancing in the Moonlight by King Harvest. Street-level airplay from New York crept outward until Program Worry, directors noticed, and Dancing in the Moonlight by King Harvest took on a life of its own. The song was laid down in Paris at Studio Pierre Jaubert, with the group putting a gently swinging groove underneath the sunlit melody. Caught between rock and soft soul, this track's blend of smooth keys and steady rhythm slotted perfectly into the sound of 1972's FM dial. Program directors at Perception Records then picked it up, sending it up the coast and into syndication just as summer crowds poured into the city. Radio listeners latched onto the tune's carefree feel, making it a mainstay on graduation playlists and campus parties. The record's upward spiral peaked at number 13 on the charts in 1972, a testament to the cut's enduring mass appeal.